Kevin O'Leary responds to Judge Engoron's massive fine against Trump and declares New York a loser state. New York has a ton of conservatives, so I'm not saying anything about the individuals, only that a business will be crazy. Future money will not come into the state of New York. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug Tenaple. This is where all the happy patriots are, including all my happy patriots watching in New York. In fact, there's more conservatives in each of these liberal areas than there are in any other conservative state. It's just the percentage is offset by the lunatic liberals there that are destroying the businesses of these states. Kevin O'Leary is going to explain it to us. Here's Trump attorney says he will pay $400 million bond to appeal the New York ruling. There's a good chance they could actually win this and reverse Engoron's decision, but Engoron is just another lefty lunatic. New York is a lefty lunatic state, and it's because of the way the people vote. Too many Democrats are voting, and they will destroy a state from within because they're anti-business. Here's Kevin O'Leary.
Wouldn't there be many companies who would not want to do business or loan money to people like yourself or investors if they know that they can get away with fraud and there's no recourse to protect them?
Excuse me, what fraud?
This is a lawyer on CNN accusing Kevin O'Leary and Trump of fraud in New York. And he simply just says, Trump was not accused. He did not commit fraud.
This is not about Trump anymore. When you get a developer that builds a building and he says it's worth $400 million and he wants to borrow $200 million from a bank, which happens every day, everywhere on earth, including every American city.
Kevin O'Leary says that what Trump did happens every day in every American city. Kevin also says it's not about Trump. Here's where he's wrong, Kevin. You're so naive and so far behind throughout this whole thing. You're pathetic. Kevin O'Leary, listen to me. You're so far behind. You're probably 10 years behind, 20 years behind the political curve on this. It is about Trump. New York will destroy itself because it hates Trump and it hates conservatives. It hates families. And it hates the Constitution. It hates capitalism. It hates free speech. That's why, buddy, open your freaking eyes. Here's Tom Fitton, Democrat New York Governor Hochul, effectively tells New York businesses not to worry. It was all about getting Trump. There's Hochul. And she's saying, like, New York businesses are going, hey, Trump got fined for doing what we all do. We're in trouble, right? And Hochul goes, no. But Trump's different than what you all do. But Kevin O'Leary just now said, no, Trump did what all of them are doing. Hochul tells New York businesses not to fear about Trump verdict. Nothing to worry about. New York Governor Kathy Hochul, Democrat, addresses New York business owners in a new interview and told them there was, quote, nothing to worry about after former President Trump was hit with a $355 million fine and a ban on conducting business in New York for 3 years. Nothing to see here, guys. We were just going after Trump for political reasons. We're not going to hit your businesses that do the same thing, especially if you're Democrats. That's Hochul. That's your state. Quote, I think that this is really an extraordinary, unusual circumstance that the law-abiding and rule-following New Yorkers who are business people have nothing to worry about because they're very different than Donald Trump and his behavior, Hochul responded. Remember, denying what Kevin O'Leary just said, that they're all doing it. The decision came just weeks after closing arguments wrapped up a months-long trial based on a suit brought by New York Attorney General Letitia James, Democrat, alleging Trump falsely altered his net worth to receive tax and insurance benefits. The judge, Arthur Engoron, found Trump, the Trump Organization, top executives, and his adult sons liable for fraud. Kevin O'Leary?
Every developer is an entrepreneur. They shine the light on their building and they say it's worth 400. The bank does its own due diligence, as was done in this case, because they're very good at it. The banks are very good, and they say, no, it's worth 300. We're only going to loan you 150 million. That haggling has gone on for decades. That's how it works.
That's how it works, according to Kevin O'Leary. What Trump did was normal. He's educating this lawyer going, but how are we going to get Trump if we don't uniquely persecute him for his politics?
And then in this case, even the bank that was supposedly defrauded testified and said, we didn't lose anything. We want to do business with this guy again. We'd like to. But the judge said, no, 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 no. Let's penalize this developer for $355 million. And if we're going to do that, let's penalize all the developers all across America. They've all done the same thing. All of them should go to jail, and we should stop building buildings. That's what the message is from New York.
Oh, Kevin O'Leary, you're so naive. They're not going to do it to anybody else, just Trump. This is similar to when they go, hey, we have this removal of the statute of limitations on sexual assault. Why are we only going after Trump and E. Jean Carroll? Well, the reason is because it was always only about getting Trump. It was never about helping sexual assault. Democrats don't care about sexual assault. They also don't care about Trump fraud. They love it when fraud happens from anybody else. Here's Engoron's $350 million verdict against President Trump spells doom for business in New York, ending free enterprise and opening the floodgates for more. This is more state persecution coming to New York. Your business is done. Look, New York is one of the largest business engines. It's probably the largest one in the world. It's got a long way to fall before it turns into Detroit, but it will turn into Detroit. It might take 2 generations, 3 generations for it will happen, because New York's hatred of conservatism and love of communism is a religion. It is not politics. It will not change. They will not change their elections. Remember, liberalism is a religion.
Even the governor herself is concerned about what this looks like to investors all around the world. It's not just U.S. domestic. All around the world, people are talking about what happened here. You really think people want to invest money in New York after this? How about we go somewhere else?
Yeah, why not come? I'm here in Tennessee. They're coming to Tennessee in droves. Oklahoma, Texas, Florida, anywhere but New York and LA.
Why would we go to New York? Why take the risk? My only point is, did we just diminish the great state of New York and the great people of New York? And shouldn't they ask for better management so they don't become a flyover state?
No, you're a flyover state because of how New York votes. You did this freely. You will not change your vote because it's a religion. LA will not change its vote because it's a religion. Chicago won't change its vote because it's a religion. So the Darwin Awards are going to be handed out as you all get passed up. The survival of the fittest will go to another state.
Remember, New York has the highest taxes in the country, the worst regulatory environment, and it's incredibly mismanaged. And I'm pointing out now, on top of that, you get this insanity, a victimless crime. And forget about Trump. It's not about Trump. I don't care about Trump in this.
It is about Trump. It is about Trump. It is about Trump. Kevin's trying to say, put the politics aside. Just put them aside. You can't put them aside. That's the whole problem.
I care about America, and I care about entrepreneurship, and I care about democracy and the fairness. The judicial system is now being criticized. People are asking themselves, the bar of New York, is this judge rational to charge $355 million in a case where no one lost any money? Is that good for the people of New York? Should the people of New York wake up to this and say, what's happening to us? Why is this becoming so perverse? Why are we the focus of this injustice?
But let's keep voting for Democrats, New York. This is terrible, but let's not change our vote. Whatever you do, don't change your vote.
And I have nothing to do with Trump. I'm not supporting Trump. I'm supporting American entrepreneurship. And New York is slowly becoming the #1 loser state in America. I'm sorry. That's what's happening.
Well, that's news to the city that doesn't sleep.
Yeah, and it's news to that CNN anchor going, oh, how am I going to negate this? Kevin O'Leary couldn't be more clear. But Trump, don't worry. He's incorporated his Truth Social in other states. He doesn't need New York. He's down there in Florida. making billions. Watch this from CNN.
Trump's Truth Social share worth. So back in 2022, it was about 700 million. Last year, it was less than 100 million. But there's this idea, essentially, that Truth Social will, in fact, be able to go public. And how much would Trump's shares be worth if it does, in fact, go public? It could be upwards of $4 billion. That's billion with a B, not million with an M.
Billions with a B. He only owes 500 million in fines to E. Jean Carroll and to Engoron and all those. That's less than a quarter. That's like 1/8 of his net worth. Just on this one business alone, Truth Social. Trump is not worried about the money. I'm telling you guys, the money's not the problem. It's only a problem if they throw him in jail or remove his name from a ballot. And both of those are probably not going to happen by the election, so he's safe. The money, don't go crying over money, guys. Trump can turn on a money printing. He can sell golden shoes. He can make money all day, sell Truth Social shares, go public with it. He's fine.
Now, of course, keep in mind that Trump can't sell these stocks for another 6 months. But the fact is, we've had all this bad news for Trump. This could be good financial news for Donald Trump.
Trump can't sell the stocks for 6 months. Whatever he's going to do for 6 months, he'll be fine, guys. More Kevin O'Leary, this time with Neil Cavuto.
Doesn't matter what the governor says. New York was already a loser state. Like California is a loser state. There are many loser states because of policy, high taxes, uncompetitive regulation. It was already on the top of the list of being a loser state. I would never invest in New York now, and I'm not the only person saying that.
The word is getting around New York. Your brand is getting out there. It's kind of like all these other tech platforms too, where their brand is not free speech. Their brand is censorship. The word gets out and the market responds, guys. You can't fight your brand. New York is hostile to business.
And here's a real-time situation. In development in real estate right now, the hottest asset class is very high-end data centers. They cost anywhere from $2.5 to $3.5 billion each. They're very expensive. They require low power. You need permits. But most of the major institutions in the world need more data centers, and that's why developers like me are doing this. Now, you need power. So New York has Niagara Falls. Normally, you'd consider that to put in one of these facilities, create 400 jobs, 5 more jobs for each of one of those for auxiliary services. I can't go to New York.
Yeah, because New York's full of green lunatics, the way they vote. Again, Kevin, this is about Trump. This is about Democrats versus Republicans. I assume Kevin O'Leary, by the way, has voted Democrat most of his life. I have no mercy. I have no sympathy for people who vote this way, for Democrats. I have sympathy for Republicans that are voting in New York. You're not the problem.
So I'm going to Oklahoma, North Dakota, West Virginia. Governor Stitt, Kevin Stitt, my staff have met with him. Governor Bergen, the same thing. Governor Justice. Those are winner states. They don't do things like this. I have to syndicate that debt and all that equity. We're talking billions of dollars here. Do you think any foreign institution or any private equity firm or any pension fund would touch New York? No.
New York is how you lose money. It's untouchable business. That reputation can't last for long.
And that's why New Yorkers should be concerned. The fine people of New York should ask themselves, why are we such a loser state?
Because of how you vote.
How are we going to attract business? It's not just the existing businesses that are fleeing out to Texas and Florida. What about new money like this that I'm talking about, like a $4 billion data center? Not a chance I would put that in New York. Zero probability. Never.
Okay, we get the message. New York's kryptonite for business.
New York, mega loser state.
Anyone out there still unclear on what he's saying? Get the message out to your leaders in New York, especially that Hochul lady who says, oh, no, this isn't going to happen to other businesses. We're just targeting Trump. Okay. Kevin O'Leary thinks something different. He says, no, you're targeting other businesses. You would never open a business there. I'm Doug in Exile.